Late morning yesterday, August 23rd, 2023, I heard what sounded like every emergency vehicle in Allegheny County speeding through my neighborhood with sirens blaring. Through the Twitter account PGH Scanner, I was able to determine that it was safe to leave my house, so I grabbed my camera and I walked toward the police staging area over by the cemetery. I encountered some media on the way there, so I just followed them to Matilda and Penn, where police were periodically giving updates. What I was able to gather was the following. William Hardison Sr., a severely mentally ill man, radicalized by a sovereign citizen movement, the Moorish sovereign citizens, had the house that he owned bought from under him for $25,000. Sheriff's deputies typically serve eviction notices in teams of two. The sheriff's department claimed they did not know Mr. Hardison would be armed, but they did send 7 deputies in body armor to serve the eviction instead of the usual 2. I talked to a teen who witnessed the beginning of the conflict. Who am I talking to?
You're talking to Christopher Wilkinson.
All right, and you were around the area when stuff started to go down, is that true?
Yes, that is true.
And can you explain to me what happened? What did you see? What did you hear?
So what happened was, what I know of is that the cops were there for an eviction. But, so my aunt was actually the one who pointed it out, and that the cops were there. And so me and my cousin were watching, and then we wanted to get like a better view to see what was happening. And so we went down into the backyard, and then all we really seen was them knocking. But then, after a couple minutes, they kept knocking, but then they couldn't. Nobody was answering. So they started to kick down the door, but they really couldn't. So then one of the cops, they got a sledgehammer and busted down the door, and then the suspect just started to fire. Right after the door was busted down, he just started to fire. The cops, went back, and from what I seen that there were cops also from the left of the house, from the side of it, and then I think that was there was 4 of them there, and then so after that there was 30 rounds fired, and it was scary, and all I seen was from where I was, you could see sparks from the gun go off, and that's really, and then it's just here now.
You guys came here to how did you so you're here, I guess you live right there and you're here until everything's over, I guess?
So I was visiting my cousin, so okay. I don't know how long we're going to be evacuated for.
Yeah. And what was it like getting out of there? Did you have a safe kind of angle to get away from the house?
Yeah, we had a really safe angle because, so it was my cousin's house and then another house, then right behind that house was the house, so where we were going, there was a lot of cover, and the cops evacuated us. I felt a lot more safer.
Was it automatic fire?
It sounded like it was from a Glock or a handgun.
Okay.
And then it was just a lot of rounds fired.
Yeah.
My TikTok is monkey_man745.
Heck yeah, I'll drop your TikTok. Thank you for your time. After about an hour or so of gathering information and collecting interviews, I heard more gunfire being exchanged between the suspect and police. A minute and a half of gunfire ensued. After the exchange of gunfire, PA police informed the media that they had taken over the situation and that they were calling it an investigation.
But the Troop D major case team will be taking over this investigation, so it's the state police, and I will try to update you guys as best I can.
Why want to know why it's taking so long? To get
right? Close turns right into an active shooter situation, right? And then it proceeds into a barricaded aspect inside a house. So first officers on scene arrive very quickly, and now that it's always developing. As we just heard about, 30 to 40 gunshots go back and forth. So we're actively working with all emergency crews here on scene to make sure we end this in the safest way possible.
I was going to say number one priority is to keep people in this area safe.
Right now, all of our crews, state police, city, and all the other agencies, including the sheriffs, our number one goal right now is to make sure everyone evacuates this area, right? Especially those maybe still stuck inside houses like they were this morning.
Do you have a number of how many people have been evacuated thus far?
I don't right now. So right now, we're trying to evacuate. You can hear it behind me. Our 13 will be here. Yeah, right now there's a lot of different variables that are actively ongoing right now. So we thought it was best case what happened all the way through this morning. You're going to take over. Yeah, I don't want to give you a number right now because I'm undershooting, right? Right now we have a lot of different agencies all working together.
I then ran into a friend nearby who had an encounter with Hardison's family member. Okay, while we watch these, it looks like police SWAT. I'm here with a local who doesn't want to be on camera, who lives just around the corner.
Whole neighborhood's out. I saw a woman who's lived in the neighborhood for 20 years, just sobbing, praying to God that they don't kill him. She said that she's known him for a long time. He's very mentally ill, he's not well. I stood with her for a moment, and the police took her to try and help negotiate, I guess. That's all I know.
Now, with a negotiation team on the ground, police began to work with family to try to come to a peaceful conclusion. Family members wanted police permission to speak to Hardison directly, but police insisted it would be too dangerous.
We can't send you down there.
Why not?
Because what if you get hurt?
He's not want to.
And he would have gone and put you out there.
Yes, he is. He knows. I'm telling him I'm negotiating with you.
Ma'am, like you said, he might not be in the right frame of mind right now, so he may not even
Well,
realize
I'm
it's you.
texting him now.
He may not even realize it's you if
I'm
you go up there.
texting.
Then tell him to answer the phone.
I'm telling him that I want to come and get him. And I need him to answer me. No, he ain't answering me yet. I'm telling him I want to come and get him.
That's what we want to. We want him to come out safe.
We've been trying that.
I'm trying to text him and I'm trying to tell him that I want him to come out of there.
Because
That
it's
I
not
love
too
him
late. The
and
good thing is nobody's hurt, you know?
And I'm praying for him.
Around 3 p.m., Hardison's son was called to the scene to attempt to negotiate with his father. He returned about an hour later in tears and looking devastated. At 5:08 p.m., Hardison was pronounced dead. They sent in a camera drone to locate him to confirm his location. The police say that he was, quote, neutralized in the gunfight, unquote. Putting together this video, I came across more information about the landlord. It turns out he's a predatory house flipper named Will Humphrey, the owner of Clan Coffee Lab, as well as the real estate wholesale LLC known as Penn Pioneer Enterprises. To round up all the information I know at this point, I will read from you this thread from former business associate Charlie Wagers. The last few years I poured a massive amount of work and creative energy into a new brand in Pittsburgh. I crafted their visual identity and formed relationships with new people. I believed I could trust them and that I was contributing to something good in the local community. After several management changes and people leaving the company, a few months ago I fired them as a client for reasons I won't currently disclose. See, late payments and massive amounts of toxic misogyny. Yesterday, everyone in the city witnessed the horrific events that unfolded in Garfield. It's come to light that the event stemmed from an eviction being served on a man who was living in a house previously owned by his now deceased brother. This house was recently purchased by Real Estate Wholesale LLC, a business entity that uses the same address as my former client. The name of that LLC, 907 East Street, was co-created by my former client and Penn Pioneer to to purchase 3 properties, including a rundown gas station in the north side, with plans of converting it to a second location for their popular coffee business. It's my opinion that the house was unethically acquired and the man was greedily forced out of his home. Meanwhile, at the coffee shop, they proudly display Black Lives Matter and defund the police signs, touting BLM while actively forcing black people from their homes. That man lost his life so someone could flip a house in a rapidly gentrifying neighborhood. Long story short, I am no longer associated with Clan Coffee Lab. Please stop. Stop spending money in their business. William Hardison Sr. was killed by capitalism. He was killed by a system that treats housing as a commodity and not a basic human right. And to suggest otherwise is to uphold the oppressive system that killed him in the first place. For the local news, I'm Mike Mizek.